Welcome sa Invested. So today, ang re-reviewin natin at kikilalanan nating company or stocks ay ang stocks na RFM Corporations. Okay? So sa pagre-review at pag-analyze ng stocks, magkakaroon tayo ng matibay na konklusyon at matibay na pundasyon sa pag-i-invest natin sa stock market. No? Kasi napakahalaga at napaka-importante na bago tayo mag-invest ng pera nating pinaghirapan o maglagay ng pera nating pinaghirapan sa isang stocks, dapat naiintindihan natin yung company. Naiintindihan natin kung ano yung ginagawa ng company, paano sila kumikita, at gaano kalaki yung utang ng company. And may moat ba ang company? Maganda ba yung pamamalakad ng management? And mababa lang ba yung utang ng company? So lahat-lahat ng yan pagsasama-sama natin sa isang video para makabuo tayo ng matibay na konklusyon at makilala pa natin itong company. Bago ka pa lang sa ating channel, ako nga pala si Renz. So dito binabahagi ko yung aking experience sa pag-i-invest sa stock market. Hey guys, so kung ready na kayo, let's start and see you on the other side. Okay, so ano ba meron sa company, no?
RFM Corporation, together with its subsidiaries, manufactures, processes, and sells food and beverage products to institutions and consumers in the Philippines and internationally. It operates through consumer business, institutional business, and other operations segments. The company offers flour products, hamburger buns, English muffins, rice-based products, spaghetti sauces, margarine, and other bakery products, ready-to-drink juices, tea, milk and chocolate milk, flavored milk, and functional drinks, and ice cream products. It also provides bread, flour-based products, including pasta and cake mixes, canned and processed meat, and bottled mineral water. In addition, the company offers barging services, such as lighterage and cargo handling services, and leases commercial and office spaces. It provides its products primarily under the Sunkist, Selecta, White King, Royal, Selecta Mu, Selecta Fortified, and Fiesta brands. The company sells its products through hypermarkets, supermarkets, groceries, convenience stores, drugstores, wholesalers, distributors, institutional customers, food establishments, flour dealers, and flour end users, as well as the company store. The company was formerly known as Republic Flour Mills, Incorporated. RFM Corporation was incorporated in 1957 and is headquartered in Mandaluyong, the Philippines.
Okay, and this is the mission and vision ng company. Okay, so nakikita natin dito kanilang mission. Yung mission nila, to be the Philippine market leader in affordable quality food and beverage products. And yung kanilang vision, to produce and market better value branded food and beverage products for the greater mass of Filipino consumer everywhere in the country. And also, committed to quality in all the products we are making available. Commitment to innovate our products in a way that will make our children healthier and happier. And also, commitment to give our children the best we can because we love kids. So, this is the vision and mission ng company. Okay, and this is the brand na nakapaloob sa RFM. Nakikita natin dito, ang unang-unang brand nila ay yung Sunkist, okay? And Selecta, White King, Royal, and Selecta Mu, Selecta Fortified, and Fiesta. So, this is the brand na kinikater ng company. And this is the RFM conglomerate maps. Nakikita natin dito, yung puti ay yung active and yung gray, light gray ay ito ay yung dormant, So, meaning ng dormant, ito yung inactive. Okay? So, kung titignan natin dito, yung kanilang Kabuyao Logistics and Industrial Center Incorporated ay merong 100% ownership ang company. RFM Equity Incorporated, merong 100% also. And yung kanilang commissary ay merong 100% ownership also. Invest Asia Corporation na merong 96% ownership. And Rizal Trade Corporation na nasa 93.51% ownership. And WS Holding Incorporated na nasa 60% ownership. And also, Unilever Ice Cream Incorporated, meron silang 50% ownership. Ingrain RFM Pacific Incorporated, meron silang 50% ownership also sa company. Okay, so this is the conglomerate map ng RFM corporations. Okay, na kung titignan naman natin dito yung kanilang net income for the past 5 years, no? Ayan, nakikita natin from 2015 na nasa 906 million pesos lang yung kanilang net income, and fast forward to 2019 na nasa 1.2 billion pesos net income na yung kanilang na-produce, no? So that's a positive sign. So over the years talagang nag-grow yung kanilang net income continuously. Na kung titignan natin dito yung net income ng company na quarterly basis, nakikita natin dito in the third quarter of 2020, yung net income nila ay nasa 282 million pesos, and compared to the net income ng company in the same quarter in 2019 na nasa 255 million pesos. So nakikita natin na na-exceedan nila yung kanilang third quarter of 2019 na net income. Okay? Kung titignan natin dito yung informations ni RFM, yung kanyang 52-week high ay nasa 5.33 pesos per share, and 52-week low ay nasa 4 pesos per share. And also guys, kung titignan natin dito yung earnings per share versus free cash flow per share ng company, so yung kanyang free cash flow per share ay nasa 0.23, while the earnings per share ay nasa 0.38. So sinasabi dito sa atin guys, yung kanilang free cash flow per share is a poor value based on its earnings per share. Pero kung titignan natin dito, hindi masyadong malaki yung difference ng company, no? Ang ayaw kasi nating makita guys is negative na yung free cash flow per share, but positive yung earnings per share, no? Ayun yung ayaw natin makita, no? Kung titignan natin dito, yung free cash flow yield na company ay nasa 5%. So sinasabi dito sa atin guys na free cash flow yield na ang company ay nasa solid business, but in terms of free cash flow yield alone, sinasabi sa atin na ang company ay nasa overvalue in terms of free cash flow yield. So bakit natin nasabi na overvalue ang company, no, in terms of free cash flow yield? Kasi nasa 5%. Ang gusto natin makita kapag nagre-review tayo ng stocks ay nasa 10% yung kanyang free cash flow yield. Okay? Again guys, nauulitin ko, ang focus natin dito, kay RFM ay yung value ng company, no? Hindi tayo nakafocus ngayon dito sa growth, because ang focus ay value ng company. So yung ating intrinsic value sa company ay nasa 6.12, and meron tayong upside potential na 32.97 kapag na-reach niya yung ating intrinsic value and ratings na buy, no? Kung titignan naman natin dito yung summary ng moat management and debt ratings, na nakikita natin dito na overall nasa excellent tayo sa company, no? So mamaya i-diff tackle natin yung moat management and debt ratings. Importante yan para sa criteria ko, no? Okay, na kung titignan natin dito yung current price ng company. So guys, kung titignan natin dito yung current PE ratio ng company versus market, so sinasabi dito sa atin na ang company PE ratio is a good value based on its PE ratio compared to the market PE ratio. Okay, na kung titignan natin dito yung free cash flow ng company for the past 5 years, no, nakikita natin na overall nasa excellent naman yung kanilang free cash flow. Pero nakikita natin yung trend bumababa, no? So that's the price we take, no? As long as hindi siya nagne-negative, no, yung free cash flow, it is okay business pa rin, no? Kasi ang ibig sabihin ng free cash flow guys, no, kung viewers kayo ng ating channel, pag sinabing positive free cash flow, ang ibig sabihin nun, mas malaki yung kanilang cash from operating activities kaysa sa kanilang capex or capital expenditure. Pag negative naman, baliktarin na lang natin, mas malaki yung capex kaysa sa kanilang cash from operating activities. Okay, so napakahalaga nitong free cash flow para sa mga investors, no? For example, nagbibigay yung company na pinag-investan mo ng dividend. So, pag nakita mo yung free cash flow ng company for the past 5 years, puro negative. So, ang ibig lang sabihin nun, nagbabaro ang company ng pera or para lang makapagbigay ng dividend sa company, no? Yun yung ang negative. Kaya napaka-importante sa mga investors ng free cash flow. Now, yung free cash flow din also, no? Ito yung for example, 100% owner ka ng company. Tapos, meron kang free cash flow na 1.2 billion pesos. So, ano gagawin mo sa 1.2 billion pesos? So, meaning, kung 100% owner ka ng company, 1.2 billion pesos, ito na yung para sa'yo, no? So whatever you want it to do sa free cash flow mo, either ipang save mo, ipang travel, or ipang lagay mo sa business, ipang improve mo sa business, ito yung sinasabi yung free cash flow, no? Now, kung titignan naman natin dito guys, yung moat, no? Nakikita natin dito yung moat ng company. So, yung moat ay popularized by Warren Buffett. So, it refers to a business ability, no, to maintain its competitive advantage over its competitor in order to protect its long-term profit from its competing firm. No? So, gusto natin makita dito guys, sa free cash o sa moat na sana ng company ay nasa 10% over time yung kanyang moat. So, dito nakikita natin na yung kanyang earnings per share ay nasa 7%, while the cash from operating activities ay nasa negative 8%, net income 6% growth rates in the past 5 years, and book value per share ay nasa 6%, no? So, dito no, medyo nasa average tayo in terms of moats ng company. Okay, now pagdating sa management analysis natin sa kanya, no, kung titignan natin dito yung kanyang return on equity, for the past 5 years nag-grow yung kanyang return on equity, okay? And also, no, binaback upan siya ng ROIC natin. So, yung ROIC naman also yung talagang nasa stable yan. So, kung viewers kayo ng ating channel, alam nyo nang ibig sabihin ng return on equity and return on invested capital. Kasi napakahalaga ng return on equity and return on invested capital sa mga potential investors or investors ng company. Okay? Also guys, isa pang highlights ng company, yung kanyang debt to earnings ratio, no? Kung titignan natin, yung kanyang debt to earnings ratio, nasa 0.3 lang yung kanyang debt to earnings ratio in 2019, no? So, guys, kung viewers kayo also ng ating channel, alam niyo na kung anong ibig sabihin ng debt to earnings ratio. So, konting pahapiaw lang sa debt to earnings ratio, no? So, kaya natin to kinukuha kasi dito mini-measures natin yung gaano kalaki yung interest expense na kinikita ng company. Guys, remember, gusto lang natin makita sa debt to earnings ratio ng company ay 3 years pababa. So, dito, nasa 0.3 yung kanyang debt to earnings. So, meaning, 0.3 years nila kayang bayaran or punan yung kanyang long-term debt gamit lamang yung kanyang net income. So, yung ibig sabihin nun. Kaya napaka-importante din yan, no? And also, guys, no, kung titignan natin dito, yung comparison ng PE ratio ng company annual to the PE ratio ng company in trailing 12 months, nakikita natin na mas mababa ngayon yung PE ratio ng company compared to the trailing 12 months. So, sinasabi dito sa atin na yung PE ratio ng company ngayon or in trailing 12 months is a good value based on its PE ratio annual. And kung titignan natin dito also, yung price to sales ratio ng company annual and price to sales ratio ng company in trailing 12 months talaga mas mababa pa. So, ibig sabihin, nasa undervalue ang company ngayon, no, in terms of price to sales ratio. Also, no, kung titignan natin dito yung price to free cash flow per share na company, nakikita natin annual ay nasa 23.39 and yung price to free cash flow na company in trailing 12 months ay nasa 19.96. So, sinasabi din dito also sa atin na ang company, ano, in terms of multiple valuation or in terms of multiple valuations ay nasa undervalue ang company. Now, in terms of price to book naman, no, ng company, nakikita natin in terms of annual to price to book ng company quarterly, nakikita natin na medyo bumaba yung kanyang price to book, but in terms of price to book, sinasabi sa atin dito na ang company ay nasa overvalue in terms of price to book. Bakit? Kasi gusto natin makita sa price to book ng company ay nasa 1 pababa yung kanyang price to book. Okay, so dito 1.3 yung kanyang price to book. Okay? Also guys, kung titignan natin dito, yung dividend yield na company for the past 5 years ay nasa 2.75%, and comparing to the dividend yield na company in trailing 12 months ay nasa 4.61. So talaga, no, halos dumoble yung kanilang dividend yield, no? So that's a positive sign, no, sa mga dividend investors ng company. When in terms of financial strength ng company, nakikita natin dito, yung free cash flow ng company annual ay nasa 662.63 million pesos, and yung kanyang free cash flow in trailing 12 months, nakikita natin na na-exceedan niya yung annual free cash flow. Nakita natin na mayroon ng 776.63 million pesos free cash flow ang company. That's a positive sign, no? And kahit na although na mayroong pandemic talaga, na-exceedan pa rin niya yung free cash flow annual ng company. Now, kung titignan natin yung current ratio naman ng company, nasa 1.54. So, kung titignan natin yung current ratio ng company in a quarterly basis, nakikita natin na mayroon ng 1.48 yung kanyang current ratio. So, medyo bumaba yung kanyang current ratio, but still, that's a good and positive sign pa rin sa kanyang current ratio. So, meaning nitong current ratio, 1.48 times kaya nilang punan yung kanilang current liabilities gamit lamang yung kanyang current assets. Okay? So, dito mini-measures lang yung liquidity ng company. In terms of total debt to equity ng company, nakikita natin nasa 12.19%. That's a positive sign annually. And kung titignan natin dito yung kanyang debt to equity in a quarterly basis, nakikita natin na sobrang ganda. Nasa 7.58% lang yung kanyang debt to equity. Nakita natin na bumaba pa yung kanyang debt to equity. And also guys, nasa excellent yung kanyang debt to equity. Bakit? Kasi remember, ang gusto natin makita guys, kapag nagre-review tayo ng stocks, yung debt to equity ng company ay nasa 40% pababa lang. Pero dito, yung debt to equity ng company ay nasa 7.58%. So sinasabi na in every 1 peso ginagamit ng company sa kanyang operation, 7.58% ng 1 peso ay finance by utang lang. So that's a positive sign, no? So sinasabi dito na mababa lang yung utang ng company. So nakita natin yung kanyang interest expense mababa lang and yung utang talaga ng company ay mababa lang. So ito yung mga gustong-gusto nating criteria, no, na mababa lang yung utang. Kasi yung nagpapabankrupt lang talaga ng company, syempre yung utang, di ba? Susundan ng bad management and so on and so forth, no? When also, kung titignan natin dito yung kanyang payout ratio, nakikita natin dito annual ay nasa 30% and yung payout ratio niya in trailing 12 months ay nasa 36.63%. That's a positive sign, no? Nasa 36% lang yung kanyang payout ratio, no? So meaning ng payout ratio, 36.63% na kanilang earnings ay binibigay sa dividendo or sa mga shareholders nila, no? Also, kung titignan natin dito guys, yung margin ng company annual ay nasa 38.59% while the gross margin ng company in trailing 12 months ay nasa 37.28%. So nakikita natin na bumaba yung kanyang gross margin but still that's a high gross margin pa rin ng company. And also, kung titignan natin yung net profit margin ng company annual ay nasa 8.02%. While the net profit margin ng company in trailing 12 months ay nasa 8.16%. So, sinasabi lang dito sa atin guys na net profit margin and every 1 peso na revenue ng company or benta ng company, 8.16% ng 1 peso ay tubo na nila or neto na nila, no? So, yun ang ibig sabihin nun. Yung malaman, no, kung ano yung iba pang metrics natin, yung iba pang meaning ng metrics natin dito, meron dyan, no? Nakikita nyo yung mga kulay itim dyan kung gusto malaman yung ibang informations ng company or ibang metrics na andyan, gusto nyo tignan nyo na lang, no? Nakagandaan dito guys, no, sa kanilang operating margin, kung compare natin yung annual and trailing 12 months, nakikita natin na talagang tumaas din talaga yung kanilang operating margin. Nasa 11.29% yung kanilang operating margin compared to the annual nila na nasa 10.89% lang, no? So mga nag-uumpisa pa lamang at hindi alam kung ano yung ibig sabihin ng operating margin, no? Kung i-click natin to, no? Yan, ito yung lalabas. So sinasabi dito ng operating margin is a profitability ratio that show how much profit a company makes from its core operation in relation to the total revenue it brings in, no? So yun ibig sabihin ng operating margin, no? And ito pa yung iba pang information ng operating margin. Ang operating margin help investor to understand how business make money. If it's generating income primarily from core operation to other means such as investment. So yun yung ibig sabihin ng operating margin, no? And isa pang information highlights na company, no? Kung titignan natin dito, yung net profit margin na company average for the past 5 years ay nasa 7.91% and compared to the net profit margin in trailing 12 months ay nasa 8.16%. So nakikita natin na mas mataas yung kanyang net profit margin ngayon compared sa average ng company for the past 5 years. financial informations na company, no? Okay guys, so maraming salamat sa panonood and sa suporta nyo. So, sana may natutunan kayo sa company RFM. Okay, so malapit na tayo guys mag 3,000 subscribers. So maraming salamat sa inyo guys. So and as always guys, invest wisely and see you on the other side. Hello guys, maraming salamat sa panonood. Sana marami kayo natutunan sa video na to. So kung hindi pa kayo nakaka-subscribe, so please subscribe and hit the notification bell para updated kayo sa mga videos na parating at marami pa kayong matututunan sa channel na ito. Maraming salamat!